Back with Bobby, and actually it's Brian and JJ Radio. Bobby's not here because he's a Grinch, and so
Thank goodness.
I know, right? It feels good.
It does.
It feels cheery, like it's holiday.
The gloom is gone in this room,
isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah. Because
pretty
usually,
excited about it.
I think he's the Grinch. I think in his own way.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I mean, I'm more elfy, but I get it. So let's talk about some myths of mortgage.
Well, I mean, so I was actually doing.
And by the way, this is Brian Gutierrez with Benchmark Mortgage, our real estate mortgage guru.
One of the show partners here for the long haul, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Try the veal.
Try it, yes, please. So one of the big things, man, I was doing some research, JJ, and I think the two biggest myths that I kept finding was one that you have to put 20% down when you're buying a house. Have you heard that?
I talked to when I was in residential, I talked to buyers all the time, and they said, "Well, mom's gonna give me money for my graduation and Christmas, and I'm gonna save some more." And what I had a conversation with a buyer one time. I said, "Look, you cannot save as fast as the real estate market is going up. Right. So like, unless you're some crazy person that lives off of peanuts and makes a lot of money, the real estate market it's appreciating at 14 to 17%.
Right.
You do the math on a $200,000 house, which is not even average. You're not saving that much, right?
Not at all.
Per month, per year. So I said, I don't think you're going to outsave the market, right?
Right.
But I think they need to outsave the market because they feel that it's 20% or bust. And
I think it's, that started, years ago, before I was ever in the business, back in like the late 80s, that 20% had to be there. But in doing the research that I did, in finding National Association of Realtors actually showed that across the nation for the last year, 12-month running, 7% was the average down payment across the country, which I think is phenomenal.
That's a weird number.
7%. I know, but I mean, when you add two numbers together and divide, that's how averages work.
3.5% or 10.
There you go. Yeah. So you're seeing that 7%. So some people are putting 20, some people are putting as little as 3% down, some people are putting, whatever it may be, 10%. But that 7% number was still way lower. I mean, that's 13% lower than that 20. So you sit there and look at it and go, well, 7%, that's only $14,000 if you're buying a $200,000 home, average home price in San Antonio, right? So it is attainable and it can happen. The other myth that I was noticing.
Wait, let's stick with that myth. I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah.
And again, we were talking with Mr. Brian Gutierrez, the mortgage guru, here with Brian and JJ Radio. So
I try.
I always tell people it's 20% or the minimum. And I don't know if I'm saying the wrong thing here, because if I talk to some buyers, and this is what I tell them. All right, so let's say you have 3.5% down. That's $7,000 on a $200,000 house. Good for you. And they say, well, I'm going to I have that 7, but I got another 5.
Right.
And I said, and I'm the armchair financial advisor for them, right? I said, well, just keep the 5, because putting another $5,000 down, what does that change in a payment? Like $28, $30?
Not even that. I mean, we're probably talking like maybe, $4 or $5 a month.
Per thousand?
No, I would say per 5,000. I mean, it's not a big drastic difference. And that's because the interest rates are as low as they are.
Right.
So I would actually lean on that same type of advice, and I would say, look, hold on to that $5,000, and if it boils down to I want to drop my monthly payment, I immediately go to what their monthly obligations are. So let's say they have a Best Buy credit card with $4,000 on, pay it off, so that way you're not spending $250 a month anymore.
Or put granite countertops in this awesome house that you just bought, and now it's worth
even more.
And call Julissa here, and now it's worth $15,000, right?
Right,
because
exactly.
it's 2 to 1 on your money, or 2.5 to 1 on your money, right? So that's what I say. So I'm glad I'm right there, because you're the guru and I don't know. All right.
Absolutely.
So what's the second myth?
That second myth is that you need a 780 credit score, some astronomical, crazy score out there, right?
Yeah.
And
I think that only happens when you get blessed by the Pope or something like that.
Yeah. No, then you're definitely like, you walk on water, literally and figuratively. Okay. But the big thing is that you don't need a 780 credit score. In fact, there's some lenders out there that can actually go as low as a 550 credit score.
Yikes.
Just know that the lower your credit score, the higher the risk as a lender, and you're going to, of course, pay for that. You pay for that in closing costs and usually a higher rate. But that same National Association of Realtors come up with the average credit score was actually a 689.
Right. And that's pretty average.
Yeah. And I mean, but you sit there and put at it, I mean, it's, I know it's higher than yours, but it's still a pretty decent score to 689.
Right.
So when you look at it, there may be some blemishes still on a 689, maybe some late payments, maybe a collection or two, medicals, things like that. But ultimately, don't think that you're going to automatically rule yourself out because you don't have this high walk-on-water score that we talked about.
Right.
Because you could actually walk in there with a 680, even a 650, a 620 credit score, still buy a house today.
When does it make a difference?
It makes a difference. It depends on your lender. So asking your lender, hey, what's the minimum score that you would require? Then that lender is going to be able to let you know. For example, a Benchmark Mortgage, our minimum score is a 580. So, anything below that 580, there's a big layer of risk there that we just don't want to play in that sandbox. But we do have other avenues where we can actually put people, in touch with.
Because it's always the chicken or the egg. It's like I can't go play basketball until I get into shape. Just go buy the house, right? Or go check it out. Because 580 credit score is pretty low
now,
like national average low, and so I'm pretty sure.
Well, 689.
Right.
Yeah, but 580
or whatever you said was the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that many. I don't hang out with any people that are under 580. I don't think so.
Right.
Everyone should be able to give you a call and figure it out.
And I think the most important thing is if you don't know, get on the phone with a professional that definitely can.
Segue, how do they get a hold of you, Brian?
You can reach me at 210-683-1347. That's my cell phone. Call me anytime. Shoot me a text message, video, whatever you want to do. I'm here. Or you can actually find me just by searching Brian Gutierrez with Benchmark Mortgage, and I'm the first person that pops up on Google.
Cool. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.